Right now, a dangerous, severe weather outbreak is unfolding across more than 270 cities in the United States, and if you live anywhere from Texas to Michigan, the next 48 hours could be the most intense weather event you have seen all year. 3.5-inch hailstones, winds exceeding 75 miles per hour, and multiple strong tornadoes rated EF2 or higher are all on the table starting this afternoon. This is not a drill. This is happening today. Now here is what I need from you. Drop a comment right now with the city or town where you live. I am going to personally respond with a specific forecast breakdown for your area, including exact timing, peak danger windows, and when you can expect the all clear. Do not scroll past this. Your safety depends on knowing exactly when this storm hits your neighborhood. And stay with me through this entire video because at the 5-minute mark, I am going to reveal a critical timing detail that most weather channels are not talking about. A narrow 2-hour window where the tornado threat explodes to its highest level, and it is not when you think it is. So let us get right into it. The Storm Prediction Center has issued 2 enhanced risks today. That is a level 3 out of 5, covering a massive stretch of the country. One zone sits across the Midwest, Illinois, Indiana, Missouri, and southeastern Iowa. The second zone runs from the Dallas-Fort Worth area down through central Texas into Oklahoma. Both zones are primed for supercell thunderstorms capable of producing violent weather. But here is the first twist most people are missing. We actually have 2 separate low-pressure systems driving this outbreak, not one. The northern system is fueling the Midwest tornado threat, and a second system rolling in from the Pacific is powering the southern plains. 2 engines of destruction running simultaneously. That almost never happens outside of peak severe weather season, and yet here we are. Let me walk you through exactly what is coming region by region, hour by hour, so you know precisely when to take shelter and when to breathe easy. Texas, starting with the southern and central areas. Storms begin forming around 1 in the afternoon near San Angelo. By 4 to 5 in the evening, individual supercells will fire up south of the Dallas-Fort Worth area near Waco and Abilene. This is the giant hail zone. The Storm Prediction Center has issued something historic today. The first ever intensity level 2 hail risk, meaning hailstones could reach 3.5 inches in diameter. That is softball-sized ice falling from the sky. These stones can shatter windshields and punch holes through roofs. Peak danger for hail runs from 5 in the evening to 9 in the evening. By 9 to 10 at night, those supercells get absorbed into a fast-moving line of thunderstorms pushing east with winds between 60 and 80 miles per hour. Dallas-Fort Worth, expect that line to rumble through around midnight tonight. The severe threat drops off by 3 to 4 in the morning Wednesday. But do not skip ahead yet, because here is something critical. Any isolated supercell that breaks free ahead of that line between 2 and 7 in the evening could produce a strong tornado, EF2 or higher. These discrete storms are the ones that catch people off guard. They form fast, they rotate hard, and they drop tornadoes with very little warning time. Oklahoma, your window opens around 4 to 5 in the evening. Storms fire near Elk City and Lawton, then push toward Oklahoma City by 7 to 8 in the evening. A nasty cluster of storms hits central Oklahoma right during the dinner hour. All hazards are on the table: damaging winds, large hail, and tornadoes. The wind threat here is especially dangerous, gusts exceeding 75 miles per hour. That is hurricane force. Peak intensity runs from 7 in the evening to 10 in the evening. After midnight, storms lose steam, but eastern Oklahoma stays stormy into the early morning hours. Arkansas, storms arrive as early as 3 in the afternoon, moving from the Texarkana area up toward Little Rock. A second wave pushes in from eastern Oklahoma after midnight with a cluster of powerful storms. Expect heavy rain and ongoing storminess all the way through Wednesday morning. Do not let your guard down overnight. Now let us move to the area I am most concerned about today, and do not miss the next section because this is where the 5-minute promise comes in. The Midwest, specifically Illinois, Indiana, and the surrounding states, this is where the tornado threat reaches its peak today. And here is the critical detail I promised you. The most dangerous window is not during the afternoon. It is the 2 to 3 hour stretch right before sunset and just after, roughly 5 in the evening to 8 in the evening Central Time. That is when supercells will be most discrete, most powerful, and most capable of producing strong to violent tornadoes, potentially EF3 or higher. Here is why. The atmosphere across central Illinois and Indiana has surface temperatures in the mid-70s with dew points in the upper 60s. That is an extraordinary amount of moisture and instability for this time of year. The significant tornado parameter, which measures how favorable conditions are for tornadoes, spikes to dangerously high values right around 2 to 3 in the afternoon and stays elevated through the evening. Chicago, you are right in the crosshairs. Supercells could fire as early as 2 to 3 in the afternoon just southwest of the city. The model guidance shows intense rotating storms developing near Peoria, Galesburg, and Rockford between 5 and 7 in the evening, then pushing into Gary, South Bend, and northern Indiana. But here is a twist that changes the threat map. Storms that form north of the warm front boundary near Rockford and northern Chicago suburbs will likely be elevated thunderstorms. That means giant hail, potentially baseball-sized, but a lower tornado risk. The real tornado danger sits south of that boundary, from Springfield to Champaign to Bloomington to Indianapolis. That is the kill zone for tornadoes today. The dew points there support surface-based supercells, and the wind shear is off the charts. By 8 to 9 in the evening, storms become more widespread and begin clustering together. The tornado threat gradually decreases after midnight but does not disappear. A second round of strong to severe thunderstorms pushes through southern Illinois and Indiana between 2 and 4 in the morning Wednesday. Have your weather alerts on all night. Missouri, the triple point develops between Kansas City and Columbia around 8 in the evening. This is the atmospheric sweet spot where moisture, wind energy, and lift all converge. Storms seemingly spawn from nowhere, and any of them can produce tornadoes. The threat pushes towards St. Louis after midnight. Springfield sees storms earlier in the evening. Kansas, individual cells fire around 4 to 5 in the evening near Hutchinson, Dodge City, and Wichita. A corridor of intense storms develops through eastern Kansas by 10 in the evening, capable of tornadoes, very large hail, and damaging winds. Iowa, the southeast corner, has a small but potent window for tornadic storms, roughly late afternoon through the dinner hour. Burlington and Davenport pay close attention to any cells that develop. You may only get a 2-hour window, but those storms can produce tornadoes quickly. Wisconsin, the southern tier from Madison to Milwaukee to Janesville, could see cells develop around 9 in the evening. Large hail will be the primary threat. The northern half of the state stays too cool and dry for severe weather. Lower Michigan, intense storms move across Lake Michigan and into Kalamazoo, Ann Arbor, and eventually Detroit by late evening into midnight. Southern Michigan has enough moisture to support tornadoes. Detroit, those storms could be blasting through around midnight. This is a repeat threat area since strong tornadoes hit here just days ago. Ohio, your turn comes later. Storms do not arrive until after midnight tonight, with clusters developing across the northern half of the state by 2 to 4 in the morning Wednesday. Toledo, Bowling Green, and Columbus all see storms. The severe threat is lower here, but do not sleep on it. Keep those alerts on. Now here is what happens Wednesday, and this is where things take another dangerous turn. A large, slight risk of severe weather stretches from Pennsylvania all the way to eastern Texas. A separate tornado threat develops in 2 areas. First, the Ohio Valley, specifically Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and Kentucky, where discrete supercells could fire by 2 to 3 in the afternoon Wednesday with a risk of strong tornadoes. Second, a massive line of thunderstorms builds from East Texas through Tennessee with damaging winds of 60 to 75 miles per hour and embedded tornadoes. Any storm that breaks free ahead of that southern line, especially near Jackson, Mississippi, could produce a long-track tornado. That is one of the most dangerous scenarios in severe weather. By Wednesday evening, storms push into eastern Tennessee and central Alabama before weakening overnight into Thursday. Here is one more stunning detail. Behind all of this severe weather, cold air rushes in so fast that some areas of Illinois and Indiana could actually see snow within 24 hours of the tornadoes. Tornadoes one day, snowflakes the next. That is how powerful this system is. So here is your action plan. Charge your devices now. Have flashlights and closed-toed shoes next to your bed tonight. Know where your safe room is. Have multiple ways to receive tornado warnings, weather radio, phone alerts, anything that wakes you up at 2 in the morning if a warning is issued. And remember, drop your city in the comments right now. I want to make sure every single one of you gets a personalized forecast for your exact area. Whether you are in Dallas, Oklahoma City, Chicago, Indianapolis, Detroit, Columbus, Little Rock, or any of the more than 270 cities in the path of this outbreak, tell me where you are and I will get you the information you need. Now, in tomorrow's video, I am going to break down the Wednesday severe weather event in full detail because the Ohio Valley tornado setup has some characteristics that are making forecasters very nervous. You do not want to miss that breakdown. Make sure you are here for it. Stay safe out there tonight. Take this seriously, and I will see you in